In the next few weeks, I'm going to look at the question papers of 2022 IGCSE Music to help you with your revision. So today I want to discuss A1 and A2. That is more about the eras, the instruments, accompaniment, the Dr. Smith method, beats that you hear in a bar. So let's go through the questions that they ask. On an A2, this is where you have to identify between the different eras of music, the Baroque, the classical, the romantic, or the 20th century. So make sure that you know these eras, and that if they ask you why you say that this is from a specific era, that you can answer this. This is quite important. Okay, and it can, they say it can be from the Baroque, the classical, romantic, or the 20th century. Now, if they give you a song like this, it's most probably a lead. So it can be classical, it's definitely not the Baroque era, or romantic. So the mood and the music will guide me. It can also be 20th century music. How many beats are there in each bar is the first question. So you must go through that and count it out. Is it 2 or 4? Or is it in 3 time? Suggest an Italian term to describe the change of tempo between lines 4 and 5. So if it goes slower, you say rallentando or ritardando or ritenuto. If it goes faster, you say accelerando. Those terms you need to know. Describe the piano accompaniment in lines 1 to 6. So try and listen to the right hand and listen to the left hand. Do I hear broken chords? Do I hear arpeggios? Do I have an Alberti bass in my left hand? Or do I have simple octaves? These are things that you need to be able to write. And how does the music change in lines 14 to 19 when the mood of the poem changes? So if it changed, I tried to answer with my Dr. Smith method. The dynamics, articulation. Is it legato or staccato? Does that change? Is the tempo different? Is it louder or softer? What happens to the voice? The piano, maybe the piano plays at a different range. And when was this music written? So let's go through one of these and try and answer the questions now. You really have nice time before you even start listening to this to figure out what they ask you.
And answer the questions.
So let's listen to this now. I hear it goes slower there. There I have a modulation. I hear broken chords. I hear arpeggios. A simple melody or accompaniment in the left hand. Mostly octaves. Faster rhythm in the piano. Shorter phrases in the singing. Crescendo. A modulation. The piano plays higher. Okay? So the beats, I could count out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or 1, 2, 1, 2. So when they play that again, we're going to listen to that. It's definitely not Baroque. It's definitely not 20th century. So it's between classical and romantic. So let's listen to that again now. And let's count out
Music A1, second playing.
4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. accompaniment now. There's a broken chord pattern in the right hand. Sounds like an Alberti bass pattern. A very simple single and octave accompaniment line in the left hand. Faster patterns. The piano part is more difficult there. Crescendo. I would say this is romantic because of especially that part where it changes so much. It's more an emotional Sturm und Drang than the classical time. So let's look at the memorandum now, or the mark. So we could count out the first one was in 2 or 4. Between 4 and 5 it was rallentando, ritardando, ritenuto, rubato. Now the accompaniment in the beginning, the right hand plays broken chords and the left hand plays octaves, simple notes, single notes at the beginning. Okay, the right hand is fast and moving, and the bass line rises chromatically during line 6. So I could allow an Alberti bass. The tempo goes faster, it modulates, no rubato, the melody rises during this passage, shorter phrases, gaps between the phrases, staccato detached singing, busier piano part, shorter note lengths, triplets, crescendo, it gets louder, dominant pedal, more chromatic harmony, diminished sevenths, piano writing is higher, the voice is within the piano texture, romantic. So let's listen to that one again. So read number 4 again. It's a lot of marks, 3 marks. Music A2, you will hear an extract for instruments. Okay, look at the skeleton score below and read through the questions 6 to 8. 6 to 8. Why do I think it's 6 to 9? Sorry, 6 to 9. So what playing technique is used by the lower strings throughout the extract? So we're going to listen to the technique. Name the key and cadence in bar 7 to 8. Key, it starts in Father Charles Goetz in A major, but something happens here. Okay, so the key and the cadence. Describe the similarities and difference between the printed passage and the music which is heard when the extract continues. So that again is your Dr. Smith method. And then, which of the following best describes this extract? A canon, a march, cannot be a march because I saw there 3, 4.
Now listen to music 8
Minuet,
and answer the
Minuet,
questions.
theme and variations. Listen to the lower strings. Do you hear the plucking there? So they play the repeat. It's definitely an A major there. The D sharp is added there. So there I have the same melody. And then it's definitely not a canon because they don't, you don't hear that echo and call and response. It's not a march, theme and variations, or a minuet. I know that it's in 3/4 time, so it's most definitely a minuet. And if you give reasons for your answer, you can say it is in 3/4 time is one of your answers there. Okay. What playing technique is used by the lower strings? I heard the plucking
Music
there.
A2,
So it's
second play.
pizzicato. I see the D sharp added there, so it moves from A major to E major, and it ends on a tonic in E, and before that I have an F sharp, so it looks as if it's the dominant to the tonic. So it was blocked. E major, cadence is perfect. So this question 8 is quite important, that you know that it begins in a minor key, similar accompaniment, okay, and the rhythm from that bars 4 to 6. The melody goes lower. You hear the melody goes lower. The accompaniment is above the melody. And then the opening melody key returns later. It's modified to the end in the tonic. And I also have that similar use of the terrace dynamics. Now the only option is that this is a minuet, because it's in triple time, it's moderately fast, because that's a dance, and regular phrases. So I want you to listen to what happens after this now. You hear the plucking. You saw the D sharp added, so you know that that is a cadence 5 to 1 in E major. There's the repeat. Starts on a minor, similar accompaniment, and the same rhythm from 4 to 6. Okay, the melody is again there later on, but it ends in the tonic. So similar use of terrace dynamics. Answering, go through the questions, try and figure out what you can write the way that I discussed this with you, okay? Because every time that you listen, then you can answer something. You know your different keys that you need to know, and that you can know everything that it modulates to. Good luck with the studies.